Hello, everybody. This is Adam Noyce. I'm a video production specialist here at Videoguys. And today, our show is Ask the Videoguys, in which I answer some of the most common questions that we get here over the phones or via email or on any of our social media. And I try to answer it to the best of my ability. So let's not dilly-dally around, and I'm going to get on with the show. You can always email us at sales@videoguys.com if you have any questions. We're definitely checking our emails all the time. You can also call us at 800-323-2325. Chances are, if you've called us before, you've talked to me already. But this is all of our social media. Feel free to ask questions on any of those, and we will try to answer them to the best of our ability. So let's move on to the first question, shall we? David on Facebook asked, I've been hearing a lot about NAB. What is it? You don't know what NAB is? My goodness. Well, essentially NAB is like the Comic-Con of our industry, the live streaming industry. So NAB Show, it's currently happening right now. That's actually where Gary is. It lasts from April 23rd to April 27th of 2022, and it is taking place in Las Vegas. This is where a bunch of new stuff is being announced, new products, updates to older products, new additions such as, you see Brainstorm Edison Pro 5.0. That was just announced. Lots of stuff coming our way, lots more stuff coming. Definitely stay tuned or follow us on Facebook. We have a lot of blog posts coming out on all the new stuff that is being released and being announced at NAB, to the point that when Gary returns, he's definitely doing an NAB show. He's going to talk about all the stuff that was announced and all the stuff that we have here at Videoguys that will be coming here to Videoguys to help you live stream. Now, if you are in the Las Vegas area, or if you're actually at NAB, here are some of the cool exhibits. I'm not going to go through them all because there are a bunch of numbers, and quite frankly, I don't think you guys want to hear me list them off. However, there is one really important one because that's where you can find Gary if you ever wanted to say hi or just talk to him or even ask some questions. You can find him at the VizRT booth, and that is N2619. You can find him at that booth. He'll be glad to have you. He'll be glad to talk to you. He's a good guy. But that is where you can find Gary if you so wish. So let's move on to the next question. Donna, she emailed us to ask, can I use my own SIM cards with the LiveU Solo? Well, the answer is yes. You absolutely can. But you will need to buy your own USB dongles. And you will also need to purchase LRT separately. So if you already have your own modems, if you already have your own hotspots, if you already have, your own internet connection in general, you can still use your LiveU Solo to make sure that you can go live from just about anywhere. You just need to purchase LRT separately. That's either $45 a month or $450 per year, which is what we have here at Videoguys. But that's what you want because LRT is the secret sauce that binds all of your internet signals together, that not only improves your internet signal, but also if one drops, like let's say you're in an area where your AT&T service isn't as good, but your Verizon one is good, LRT makes sure that it automatically switches over to the Verizon signal to make sure that your stream doesn't drop. We'll have a little bit more on what goes with what in terms of the modem kits, actually with the next question, because Jane emailed us and asked, is LRT included with the 2 or 3 modem kits for the LiveU Solo? And the answer is yes. These modem kits must be activated with Solo Connect data. You must purchase a subscription plan. Here's what I like to tell our customers. We here at Videoguys, we sell the hardware in terms of the LiveU stuff. In terms of data plan, that's LiveU. LiveU is where you have to go. You go to solo.liveu.tv, and that's where you purchase your data plans. Now, I'm not going to get into exactly what all these bundles are and the prices, but do know that they are on sale right now, and you can see the prices there below. They are expiring as of, oh boy, that's a typo. Oh well. They are expiring as of, no, they're not. This is live, ladies and gentlemen. I am a month ahead for some reason. I think it's May right now. And I keep thinking we're heading into June. I'm sorry. But they expire on May 15th, 2022, probably because of all the history stuff that I've been reading, dates galore. But yeah, LRT comes included with those data plans. So you don't have to purchase it separately. LRT comes included when you purchase the Solo Connect kits and buy that data plan. You do not have to get LRT separately. Moving on, so Robert called us to ask, what's new with Wirecast 15 and how do I upgrade? Well, Robert, here's a basic rundown of what's new with Wirecast 15. In full disclosure, I haven't really played with Wirecast 15 yet, so I don't want to get too much into the weeds of it, but I know that we're going to be doing a show on it in the future, which goes into more details of all the new features that comes with Wirecast 15. But this just sums it up, I think. So basically, it has a new user interface. It has more customizable graphics, templates. The stock media is really important, as for people who are really worried about copyright. And we all know how stingent Facebook and YouTube are for their copyrighted material. Upgraded audio tools with enhanced display and audio meters, which is great, so you can get better and accurate readings. But to me, the thing that really makes Wirecast 15 stand out is the fact that it uses up to 60% less computer resources than previous versions, which means you can do more stuff in the background, which means you can probably have another program open, because I know a lot of people, me included, who are just using a laptop with Wirecast sometimes out on the field. So updating to Wirecast 15 might be a good option for you, simply because it's not going to run your computer down as much. So keep that in mind. But here's what I can tell you about upgrading to Wirecast 15. And I broke it down into 3 sections here, 3 main sections. If you bought Wirecast in the past year, it includes the first year of insider access, and you can get the upgrade for free, 100% for free. You can also renew insider access for just $99 per year and continue to get all upgrades for Wirecast. Now, if your Wirecast license is more than a year old and you let your insider access expire, then you renew it now for $199. Now, if you're confused as to what you select, we included the part numbers on this slide. We'll also include them within the blog post. The blog post usually goes up within 24 hours of the stream going live. We'll include those there just so you know exactly what you need to look for and exactly what you need to get. Now, some of you are using an even older version of Wirecast, which is fine. You know, you find what you like. If you want to upgrade to Wirecast 15, there are upgrade paths available now. So they haven't forgotten about you. You have your options available, but we take that more as like a case-by-case basis. So feel free to either contact us and we can get you in contact with the right people. That's what we pride ourselves with here at Videoguys. You can call us, we can get you in contact with the right people, and we'll talk about it. We'll see what happens. Moving on. Joe on Facebook asks, how does the Roland Aerocaster compare to the SlingStudio? Yes, the elusive SlingStudio. Well, Aerocaster is a new product from Roland. Here's a chart in which talks about the differences between the SlingStudio versus the Aerocaster. One thing that jumps out to me is that the video inputs, the Aerocaster has 5, while the SlingStudio can do up to 10. And the price is $295, while the SlingStudio is no longer available. But the Aerocaster is really cool because you can bring in wireless cameras into it in terms of your phones. It can bring in an iPad, it can bring in a computer, it can bring in a mobile device. So it's really good for people who are running and gunning. In particular, I see people in sports using it a lot. And to show just kind of what it does, I'm going to pull up the video and I'm going to walk you through the Aerocaster because we have been playing it, and no doubt we're going to be doing a product spotlight to go into this a little bit further a little bit later. But here's what the Aerocaster looks like, and we actually have the UI pulled up on an iPad. So the Aerocaster can both be controlled on an iPad and can also, well, not just an iPad, but we have it on an iPad. It could be controlled on a mobile device, but also the hardware. So it depends on what you like. If you like the tactile feel of the hardware, you can control it via that. or you can just control it on a touchscreen interface. It depends entirely upon your preference. Now, I'm bringing in 2 cameras, actually. I'm bringing in 2 cameras. I'm bringing in my coworker Jim's phone, and now I'm also bringing in my coworker Jenny's phone. And I can now start bringing them up. I can cut back and forth between the 2, like so. I can even add transitions if I so want. But I can also build a picture-in-picture. Let's say you have a presentation or have multiple different things happening at once. Again, one reason why I think this is really good for sports. You can customize as to what camera is in front of what. You can customize the size. You can customize even the position of the smaller picture. You can drag it around. Again, this is useful for the touchscreen interface. You save it, and now you can cut back and forth between your picture-in-pictures. You can bring them up full screen. You can do a lot of customization with it. It's a pretty cool little device. Now here is the camera app that you can get with Aerocaster, which can go on iPhones or Android devices, which is really cool. So you can take those out on the field, quickly get those interviews of players out on the field and stuff like that, or an interview with a coach. Absolutely no problem at all. I can't wait to play with this device more, quite frankly. I think, while not exactly like SlingStudio, and I'm not here to say that it is exactly like SlingStudio, I think the Aerocaster might be a good substitute. It might be a good substitute. This is exactly what it looks like if you want it more close up. It even has XLR audio ports on it as well. So I think, you know, XLR can get the best audio possible. So this just might be something worth considering. If you really are looking to get mobile devices out there and stuff like that. And again, we're going to be doing a product spotlight on this. We're going to go way more into detail about the Aerocaster further down the line. I just wanted to highlight some of the cool features to let you know that, yes, it could be used as an alternative to SlingStudio. Moving on, James on Facebook asked, what is the easiest way to start building an NDI production system? Well, the easiest way is with the TriCaster Mini 4K NDI, because that is the only turnkey production system to date that has an NDI switch built into the box. And those create their own NDI networks. And so it's actually pretty easy to set up. I know we have a video that we could sort of play and I can talk over it. This video shows that you can actually set it up within 5 minutes. You can watch this on NewTek's amazing YouTube channel. Full of great tutorials about this system as well, along with how to properly set it up. But it's great, it's portable, but it also has NDI, so you can cable manage and everything like that. And it can do PoE, it can do all that sort of stuff. So it's pretty universal as to what it can do. But let's just say that isn't what you want to use. You want to use either another TriCaster system or you want to use another NDI system in general. If that's the case, the easiest way to set up your NDI workflow would be to get a Netgear M4250 network switch, which we're going to get into here. Now, I'm not going to get into all the details of what makes which one, you know, more powerful than the other. We have done webinars on this in the past. We even did a product spotlight and a tutorial on what the user interfaces look like. However, these Netgear switches are specifically built to handle NDI workflows, almost from the get-go. Now, NDI 5 has been the hot new feature of NDI ever since it came out. You can now customize your ports specifically to be for NDI 5 devices. If you haven't updated all of your cameras within your facility to be NDI 5, there's still an NDI 4 feature available, and that's most likely going to stay there for quite a while. You can mix and mesh your ports. Maybe one of them, maybe 3 of them could be NDI 5, while 2 of them are NDI 4, or reverse. You can customize these very well. There is an amazing product spotlight hosted by Glenn Seaman, who is a workflow sales specialist here. He went into great detail about how you change the ports and where that goes. We're definitely going to have that posted within the blog post. Again, that usually comes out about 24 hours after this actually goes live, so do check that out. But essentially, what are the differences between them? And I won't go into too much detail. It's just power. Power's the big part of it. It really depends on how many devices you're plugging into it. If you're doing 4K devices, you're definitely going to want the more expensive one. If you have 1 or 2 PoE devices and the rest of them require power, such as bringing in a laptop feed or anything like that, you can get away with the least expensive one. But if you're like us here and where we're plugging in NDI stuff all the time, the sweet spot is that middle one, the one that's $899.99. That is the sweet spot. That's the one that I recommend to people the most. It lets you future-proof yourself if you want to add more NDI cameras, be it full NDI or NDI HX, future-proofs you. That's just the sweet spot. That's the one that I recommend the most if you're looking to do an NDI workflow. Now, Jean on Facebook asked, my mic in jack on the YoloBox isn't working. Is there a solution or a workaround? I get this call frequently, and chances are, well, actually, before I get into the workflow, chances are what's happening is your mic is requiring power. If your mic requires power, it tends not to like working with the YoloBox because let's face it, the YoloBox is a tiny device. I'll have it right here. The YoloBox is a tiny device. It's a tiny Android tablet. It's doing a lot. You got 2 HDMI inputs, you got a USB input, it's got an output. It's doing a lot. And plus, it can stream to multiple CDNs at one time. So the best way to make sure that your mic can work with the YoloBox is making sure that your mic can provide its own power. Make sure your mic can provide its own power. Chances are it will work just fine. But let's say there's still an issue. For some reason, there's still an issue. Well, the best and easiest workaround is hands down this workflow that I have up right now. This workflow has saved a lot of people, and I've told so many customers over the phone, this workflow will work. It works. It will save you a lot of headache if the situation arises. So essentially what you're doing is from your audio source, you're going to plug in an audio cable into one of your cameras. Most cameras do have an audio input. Usually it's a 3.5 millimeter jack. But then there are some camcorders like our CX10 that we have right here. The CX10 actually has XLR cables for left and right channels, so you can get full stereo if you so wish. But it also has a 3.5 millimeter jack as well. I have used all of them, usually shooting live music events or shooting documentaries. I have used them all. But most cameras have those audio inputs. If you have a PTZ Optics or a Bird Dog PTZ camera, they have audio jacks in them. So plug your mic into that. Now via your camera, plug your camera into your YoloBox via HDMI. Remember, HDMI can do both video and audio. Now your audio is being brought into your YoloBox via HDMI and not via that audio port. So all you have to do is after you bring in the video source that you want, go under the audio tab and make sure you select that HDMI input. Usually if this is the case, I like making it HDMI 1. But let's say that isn't an option, which is entirely possible. I've talked to lots of people where that just isn't an option. What microphone could work with the YoloBox in terms of absolutely you can rely on it? Well, here at Videoguys, we use the Rode Wireless Go lapel mics, which are these guys right here. These little guys right here. Best lapel mics that I can think of. These things have worked ever since we've got them. I'm actually using one right now. That's what's in my pocket. And these we've discovered actually work very well with the YoloBox. And I know they work well because I've streamed with them before. I've streamed with these mics hooked into a YoloBox. In fact, I have a little video to show you how easy the setup is and how quickly the YoloBox actually picks up that audio input. So the first thing you're going to want to do is actually turn on your YoloBox. Now you can go to monitor out. And as you can see, I have a feed via HDMI. Now there are our Rode mics. All right, you have your receiver and then your transmitter. What you're going to do is you're going to plug in a 3.5 millimeter jack into your receiver, And then there's your audio in jack on the YoloBox. That's where you're going to want to plug the other end of your 3.5 millimeter jack into. Now you go to the audio tab. By default, it is on automatic. You want to set it to line in. Line in is the key. And now, as you can see by the audio waves at the top, it's picking up my mic, and I'm able to use that audio. Now, I have done this multiple times. It has worked every time. That is just a solution I recommend for people where that HDMI workflow just isn't an option. Here's a workaround. Here's a possible solution, and it's not that expensive. Moving on. Tim emailed us to ask, I want to see if my camera will work with the Atomos Ninja V. Is there a place where I can see what cameras are compatible? Well, the good news is, yes, there is. And you can find it via that URL right there at the top. Now, I'm going to show you what that place looks like right now. If you go to Atomos' website, you can check your camera availability with the Ninja V. That is what I have right here, as you can see up in this corner. Now, that's a lot of cameras. So how can you sort through those cameras? Well, you can go here and you can select which cameras you have. Let's say you're looking for a Canon camera because I like Canon. You can scroll down and you can see all the cameras compatible with the Ninja V. Now, let's say you're not just using a Ninja V. Let's say you have another product from Atomos because they have many. You can select which product here and see what cameras are available for those, or compatible, I should say, with those devices. But the most common one I've seen is the Ninja V, which is why I brought it up on this show. So that's where you go, Tim. That is where you go. That's where you can find out if your camera is compatible. You can see what features work with what, and so on and so forth. Let's move on. Lily asks, I need my order to arrive ASAP. Can my order be shipped out the door today? Yes. Well, maybe. Let's talk about it. So if, essentially, and this is from our warehouse, I talked to Alex, he's our warehouse manager, and I asked him, what's a good cutoff time? Alex suggested 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. So basically, if you purchase before 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time, your order can be out the door that day. We are located on the East Coast, so yes, it has to be Eastern Time. We also offer many different shipping options. You will see those upon checkout on our website. We offer next day, 2-day, expedited, and even free shipping. Upon checkout, you will see what options are available for your area. We have multiple different options. Simply select whichever one best works for you. Well, that's going to wrap up today's Ask the Video Guys, ladies and gentlemen. If you have any questions, because we get calls all the time, I know that we do get the questions, you can email us at sales@videoguys.com. You can always do that. Or you can call us at 800-323-2325. If you want to talk to me directly, my extension is 1119. That's 1119. You can always talk to me directly, and I can answer the best as I can. If I can't answer your question, I will get you in contact with somebody who can. That's what we specialize here at Video Guys. We are here. You can talk to us. We are experts. You can talk to us. We will pick up the phone. So we go live every Tuesday at 3 p.m. Eastern Time. Stay tuned next week. I'm sure we're going to have a great NAB show. And anyways, to wrap this up, this is Adam Noyce. I'm a video production specialist here at Video Guys. Sayonara.
Video Guys is available Monday through Friday. Give us a call at 1-800-323-2325. Don't forget to follow us on Twitter and Instagram to stay connected with all of our updates. And you can like us on Facebook. Keep an eye out for our live videos, and don't forget to subscribe to our YouTube channel. Thanks for watching.